Um, the found lane. That is so funny. I was going to say. What was I going to say? The
I don't
6 minutes. I did the video for that six.
Oh
I
yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
falcon and the
yeah,
wizard.
yeah, yeah.
But can I say one thing? Do you know how long it took to get
To
those
do that.
images?
I
Oh
know.
my! It's just, Deval,
No,
you
I
don't
hear
even
you.
want to
I
know,
usually,
man.
I know, no, I do know. Trust me, I know. I know. Remember the first video we done? That took an hour and 40. I think our first podcast was an hour and 40 or something. Was it two
Yeah,
hours? It was
it was
long
two
anyway.
hours something. It was long.
Yeah, that one there took me weeks to do. I had to find images all over the internet. I was doing it during lunch breaks at work, like every single day. That was crazy. I can't believe I've done that. That's crazy.
Seriously, I know
I
this is crazy.
understand. Trust me, it's not
I
easy.
know, I know. Well, listen, if you've just joined us, Deval and I, we're just riffing. We're just having this big old conversation about editing
Mm.
our podcast down and doing
Yep.
some video footage of that whole thing. So, listen, yeah, we're glad you've downloaded this episode. I think I'm gonna probably add this little bit in there actually, Deval, just to kind of add in
Add
a
it
little
in.
throwaway. Yeah, add it in, man. Like the
Add it in.
the pre-show banter that we've got going. So listen,
Yeah.
this is episode 137, folks, and as is usual nowadays, we are recording this, so you can catch this on YouTube. You'll be able to catch this on IGTV, and maybe at
Yep.
some point we'll kind of break down the episode and put snippets up there on our normal Instagram feed. So here we are. We are reviewing a couple of movies we got this week. We're doing Nobody, which is a
Mm.
new. All I'm going to say is like John Wick-esque type of a movie, and there is a link there with John Wick. So we're going to speak about that in a moment. And if we've got time, we're going to throw in some hidden gems as well for you. But in the meantime, we are going to start off with some shout outs, Devaldo, and take it away.
Yeah, we've got a few shout outs this week. I mean, do you know what? I think we're kind of building a nice fan base or supporter base or family. You all are Flixters, and we appreciate your
Love that.
interactions very much. So, first shout out goes to Filmopedia, and a great page, literally about film. So, it's like what, Cyclopedia or Wikipedia, but just
Yeah,
about. That's a good name, isn't it?
it is.
Filmopedia.
Our Filmopedia. I love it.
Yeah, but Filmopedia commented. It was about a post actually, and the post was literally about the Justice League that came out what, a month or so ago now.
Yeah.
It's still making moves on the internet. People are loving it. So yeah, Filmopedia posted about it and just saying how great Wonder Woman is in it, and talking about how it was a long film but a good film. We loved it. We reviewed it. Go back a couple of episodes and you'll catch that there too. So yeah, Filmopedia. Adele Turner. Adele Turner. Do you know what? If you're listening, Adele, we need to chat. We know you love your Korean films. We know
Wicked.
she loves her Korean films. So, yeah, if you want to talk about any Korean films, uh, come and let us know, please. We know you love films as well. So, come and chat, Adele. What did we
And
see a few
Adele,
weeks ago?
no,
What was that?
all I was going to say is, Adele, we're going to be watching there is a new Korean film on Netflix, which is
Ah,
supposed to be really good. I think it's called The Paradise or something like that. In the Night Paradise or
oh,
something. It's a new
yes,
one.
yes, yes,
It's just
yes,
come out, and so
yes.
many people have said, "Oh, watch the movie. It's a slow burner, but it's definitely worth a
Yeah,
watch." So
yeah,
yeah, Adele, listen to the episode, and
yeah.
hopefully you might have seen it, and you might enjoy that one.
That's meant to be a really good film, actually. I'm
Yeah,
trying to obtain it as we speak.
yeah.
Obtain. Okay, next shout out goes to Quipstar. Quipstar, again, another nice name, actually. I think you may have been chatting to Quipstar on Instagram, and I
Yeah,
think the chat was kind of linked to, what was it linked to? It was linked to one of our posts, wasn't it? I think it was linked to our post about Winter Soldier and Bucky, or Bucky and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter
yeah.
Soldier. Quipster also has got their own page, and they do a lot of movies and stuff like that. And I think also a lot of old school movies. I think
Yes.
Poltergeist 2 comes up as something that
Yeah. There was
Quipster was talking
that
about.
that movie, man. Seriously. If you haven't seen
They're
Poltergeist 2, seriously,
back.
yeah, exactly. And there's a creepy ass man in that old man in that movie, right?
Mm.
Which is like
Oh,
this kind of
mate.
evil spirit. Man,
Yeah.
I'm seriously gave me the shits, man. Seriously, creeped
Oh,
the hell out of me, man, back in the day. So I
that
had to kind
guy.
of just acknowledge that.
He reminds me of the Poltergeist guy. Not the Poltergeist, sorry. It's just this is Poltergeist. The
Yeah.
is it Phantasm? Is it
Oh
Phantasm?
yes, Phantasm.
Phantasm, that's the one. Phantasm, yeah,
Oh
that
my
like
gosh.
creepy looking guy that you just don't want to
Yeah.
see in any dark alley.
Alleyway.
So yeah, that's that shout. Our next one goes out to Cloud Watcher Uno. Again, the most
Yeah.
eclectic mix of music you're ever going to see. Go check out his page. He's really on Star Trek, Star Wars, Falcon and Winter Soldier, all of that. Next shout out goes out to Charlie Jar UK, who's going to be on the show really soon. And she was giving us a bit of love on Instagram. Again, she loves all kinds of movies, and you'll get to hear from her really soon. And then Agua Deco Co Girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a name. So this is a writer director actually, and yeah, this is you need to go and check out her page anyway. But she's
Yeah,
got
man.
a short film. She's got a short film out on Netflix, and it's also out on HBO as well. And the film is called Dolapo is Fine. Dolapo is
Mm.
Fine is a really good short film, about 8 minutes or 10 minutes long, about a girl in a private school who, not to spoil the story, but just about her integrating into a different environment and having to, find herself, be at one with herself, and accept the way she looks in an environment that doesn't look like her. So a really good
Yeah.
short film. Just check out her film,
Yeah.
Aqua the Coco Girl.
Yeah, man.
Last shout out
Um,
goes to 1950D.
Kiki D. 19
1950D.
Kiki D. And this was,
Yeah.
what was this one? This one was I Care a Lot, wasn't it? This was like the comment on the I Care a
Yes.
Lot,
Oh
and that hit a
man.
tone, hit a nerve with people,
Yeah.
that one.
That's a good film. You guys got to check out I Care a Lot. It's a deep film. Let us know what you think about that one. That's on Amazon
Exactly. And
Prime right now.
exactly, out on Amazon Prime. And listen, if you're unsure about it, just go back and listen to the previous episode, and we review that, and we review some other movies as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah, like get your film news and film reviews from us. And if you like what you hear, then we would appreciate a review. Just a few words here and there. Let us know. Deval, you can write on there. Deval is looking good with his biceps bulging and his his
Nah,
his beard looking quite
it's
trim and
Photoshop.
everything. Exactly. All right. Okay. Now let's get more. Let's get onto the show. So, Devado, movie news, and
Mm.
are we done with
Mm.
King Kong? Are we done with Godzilla? Can we take more Godzilla or more King Kong?
Yeah, no, we can't. There's going to be more in
Oh,
one way, shape, or form.
okay. There's going to be
There's got to
more.
be more.
Are
Yeah.
right? Are we going to get any other characters of the same ilk?
Yes, we are. So there's going to be a live action. Hey, you may have seen the cartoon or anime. You may have even played the computer games or video games, and you
Video
Americans,
game.
Americans. Gundam,
Gundam.
Gundam is.
It's crazy.
I always knew it as Gundam Wing. I don't know why, but Gundam is a. They're kind of like Transformers kind of thing. They're like robots, like shaped like humans.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, this is a crazy, excitable, enjoyable, larger than life franchise. It's going to be a live action version directed
Uh,
by the director of Kong Skull Island. So you can imagine someone that's actually directed a movie, just like
yeah.
Amar said, characters that are larger than life, Kong, Godzilla, that kind of stuff, but then making it on the sort of transformery type, character. It could go down well, or it could be a massive flop. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of makes sense though, because when you've got that kind of like those huge characters, literally huge characters, and
Mm,
and there's an existing product out there, and don't forget Godzilla. People remember Deval. People might not know this, but
yeah.
Gojira is Japanese.
Gojira. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like from the get go, that's
Yeah,
their thing.
that's their
So
thing,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
these mechanical mecha
Mm, mm.
Godzilla and all this kind of robot Pacific Rim.
Yep,
Oh, and Pacific Rim. There's the connection
yep,
there to Japan as
yeah.
well.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
it all kind of
But
makes sense. All right.
it'll probably look like that, wouldn't it? It'll probably look like Pacific Rim, actually. Come to think of
Ah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense to me. Now we've mentioned Black Adam on the show, and we've got
yeah.
kind of a couple of bits and pieces on Black Adam, and yeah, so we've got some casting news for you, and hopefully this means that this is good news. So
Yep.
tell us about Black Adam and who they roped in.
Yeah. So, phew, man, Black Adam, The Rock, it's, 2022 is coming out. We know Pierce Brosnan is involved as Spectre. We've got Aldis Hodge as Hawkman, I believe.
Yep.
They've just roped in a really big name from Hollywood, and she is going to be well, I say the main villain. She's going to be a villain, whether she's going to be the
David.
main one, time will tell. But Lucy Liu, that's right, Lucy Liu is going to be
Yeah,
in Black Adam
she's
as
great.
a villain. So I think that's going to be gangster. I'm sort of thinking of, like sort of likening her to maybe, what's her name, Hela from Thor
Mm,
Ragnarok. So
yeah,
I'm not saying she's going to be a character like that, but I'm just thinking of, obviously Thor. He fought against a female main villain, and
yeah.
really and truly, she was too much for him. So I wonder if it's going to be a similar sort of element with this. So yeah, Lucy Lee's good. She's good. So
She's good, man. She's
yeah,
been in
she's
some
good.
great movies that I've liked, and yeah, that'd be really good news. And just keeping it with Black Adam, just for a moment, Devado. Actually, earlier on, was it earlier on this year, last year or earlier on this year? We on this actual podcast, folks, we actually reported that Henry Cavill was in talks to kind of carry on playing Superman, and
Mm,
according to the grapevine, according to our sources, our people, and the people that
yeah,
we know in LA,
of course.
they that's BS, by the way. Henry Cavill could turn up. Superman could turn up in Black Adam as well, Deval. Now,
Yeah.
don't be expecting this to be kind of like, yeah, he's this is a rock movie, all right. So this is going to be Black Adam's movie,
Mm,
right? But
yeah.
the movie could tease a little showdown between Superman and Black Adam, depending on how it all goes. Because are
Mm.
they enemies or what, or frenemies? Like how is it? I mean, what are they like?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where Black Adam doesn't do things by the book. He's not like Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. It's more like truth, justice, and the Black Adam way in what he believes is justice.
Yeah,
So, if he's doing something that Superman feels is wrong, Superman will step in the way. Black Adam will knock him out just like everything else. So I think there's gonna be friction, and it's gonna be like Black Adam he feels wronged. It's a bit like how the Flag Smashers feel wronged, in Marvel.
yeah.
Falcon, the Flag Smashers feel wronged about being displaced, and he'll be like that, I reckon.
Is it? Okay, well, listen, this is going to be great. I mean, if he does turn up in it, I think it's going to be good. And then who knows, this could then set up like, like
Mm,
this big showdown, like, Black Adam versus like Superman.
yeah.
And, yeah,
They have good
that could all
fights. They
happen.
have really good fights because Superman is a bit vulnerable to magic, which is where Black Adam's powers derive. So there is an element of
Is
equality
it?
when they're fighting. Yeah, he's got a vulnerability to magic. Superman has.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, no, Black Adam. This is shaping up. I think it's going to be good, man. I mean, well, listen, look, when you and I, we're both kind of like, when it comes to DC, we don't
Mm,
always like, we're not always 100% like, yeah, fanboys. We're not,
yeah.
just totally on board with it. But I think with the Suicide Squad and Black Adam, I think that might be onto something over there. All right, okay. Next up on the movie news, Devado, what have we got? Let's have a look. Okay, this now. All
Yeah,
right,
what's this about Marvel? Like, what's going on with Marvel?
what
Like,
is going on with
they're
this?
doing so much. They've got stuff on Disney Plus. They've got movies coming out. We've got Black Widow coming out next month. I mean, what else could they be doing?
Well, listen, there's talk, all right? Okay, so again, anything's possible with Marvel and Disney. You just don't know. They could just
Hmm.
drop anything at any moment. But apparently, a Wolverine anthology TV series
What?
is reportedly in development. So, what does that mean? Like an
Being a
anthology
cartoon,
series?
animation, or live action?
Well, listen, we don't know at the moment. We
Oh
don't know.
shit!
The,
Okay,
the rumor
okay.
mills are kind of working
Ooh,
overtime. We don't know. But all
okay.
I'm thinking is,
Mm.
if you were going to introduce an X-Man into the
Mm.
MCU, out of everyone, who's most likely people would want to see first?
Mm. Squirrel
Would it be
Girl. Or
I mean,
Morph.
listen, yeah, exactly, yeah. But I mean, listen, look, Wolverine, he's like he's so kind of popular, and he's so enshrined in comic book lore and pop culture.
Mm,
It just
mm.
makes sense that they would actually try and do this. But what does an anthology TV series mean, Deval? What does it mean? What's an anthology?
Isn't that the
Like,
one where this each series is different or something? Is that what it is?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
a bit
And
like
you know
American
what, man?
history, American horror show, horror story, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Is that an
exactly.
anthology? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and apparently, kind of, Santos. What's his name again? I think his name. Yeah, Nick Santos. He's kind of like reported this, or he kind of
Mm.
came out. He said that these stories will take place in the MCU, and maybe even centered around Weapon X story taking place in the 1980s. So
Oh
an
wow.
anthology, could it be where
Okay.
they focus on like one period, Wolverine in the 80s, Wolverine in the 90s, and Wolverine kind of like,
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
modern
Because
day?
he's been around for a long time, so that could even be the 18, like the 1880s. He's been around
Exactly.
a long time.
And people might know this. I want to just quickly mention this. Weapon X,
Yeah.
the serum that's running through Wolverine is the same serum, or parts of it is the serum that's running through Captain America.
Mm, yeah. Hulk
Captain
as
Am-
well.
Hulk as well.
Deadpool, all of them.
Winter Soldier. Captain America was the first. He's like
Mm,
number one, and Wolverine is number 10.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there you go, folks. We may see that happening.
Mm.
All right, okay, which is interesting actually, which is great because it's about time we need to see that. Deval, you're going to tell us about Lord of the Rings. This is crazy mad.
Mm,
This is so tell us about this.
man, Lord of the Rings, like, thou shalt not pass.
Pass.
Crazy. So 2001, 2002, 2003, they came out every year. One of the best, fantasy films of all time.
Brilliant.
But we mentioned a few months ago now, if not a year ago or so, Amazon are making a Lord of the Rings TV series. What's that guy's name? Is it Nick Poulter? Something
Will
Poulter,
Poulter.
isn't it? Who's that?
Will Poulter.
Will Poulter was supposed to be involved in it, and he dropped out.
He
Do you know
said,
what? I couldn't
"Ciao."
even tell you who's in it right now. Yeah, like it's
So
just been a
many
mess.
people.
But they're doing season one, which reportedly cost $465 million to make
What?
season one. Yeah, and it's not no 20 something episodes. We're talking like 10 episodes max, probably. But season
It's
two has already been
mad.
greenlit. I know. You think about if we go look at Game of Thrones, on average, each season, and even the first seasons were much cheaper, but it ended up
Yeah.
being like 100 million uh, per season to make, and that's
Wow.
obviously when it started to get really good and more expensive. But the first seasons wasn't $100 million, and
Ah,
look how good that was. Obviously, it ended off quite whatever, but
yeah.
still, that's a lot of money from the get go for a series that's a lot of trouble. So Amazon are really banking on this. I don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah, $465 million. That means they're looking to make like the film version literally on TV, literally just as expensive and lavish.
Yeah, exactly. And like, which movie cost 465 million?
Exactly, exactly.
Like, maybe chuck in an Avatar. You chuck in, I don't know, a couple of
Yeah,
Avatar movies. All right, you
Endgame
might
or
get there.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's madness. So listen,
yeah.
yeah, obviously we'll wait until this comes out. When you're talking about that kind of money, folks, people are going to be scrutinizing it. They are going to be like, right,
Hmm.
where are the dollars going? Is it going into the, like, the CGI? Is it going into the script? Like, what is going on? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so just be prepared. There's Lord of the Rings, and I think you can catch all those Lord. If you haven't seen them, all the Lord of the Rings movies. I think you can catch them all on Netflix. The extended versions, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're out
That
there
took about
somewhere.
2 weeks to watch. Yeah,
I know,
extended
I know.
version. So that the Jackson cut
The Jackson cut. Well, Jackson cuts. They're supposed to be even longer, according to Deval. And
with the Schneider.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And did we watch? No, did we watch The Hobbit
Yeah.
in? Was it? Did we watch one of the Hobbits together? I can't remember if we did or
Yeah, we
not.
did during our extended Dylan and Akana cut lunch breaks. So
Brilliant. They were extended actually.
3 hour lunch break.
That was brilliant. All right, okay, so folks, those are your movie news, and yeah, so keep it locked with the Flixters. We're going to be bringing you more movie news, and we've kind of shortened down the movie news just so that we can kind of make way for the films that we're going to be speaking about.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we want to mention Boxset Watchlist. I love this section of the show. So, Deval, there's a new show that's out there on Sky, which is a
Yeah.
huge, content,
Yeah.
player in the UK. And yeah, so what have they got for us?
Show weird. I think it might also be on like Showtime internationally or in America.
Okay,
But yeah, I watched it through Sky here in the UK. This is a show executive produced by Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, and
50
it's
Cent.
called For Life. 2 seasons are out so far. The first season came out in 2019. Second season came out in 2020, right at the end of 2020. And this is about a true life story, actually, about a man who was put in prison for a crime he didn't commit. I know we've heard that lots of times before, but this actually was true. They kind of targeted him and things. He wasn't like, squeaky clean, but he didn't do the crime they put him in for. And yeah, he ended up doing lots of years. While he was in prison, he actually studied law, and he used his law knowledge and skills to help other prisoners who were wrongly accused as well, and eventually helped himself to, get some sort of, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, he helps himself anyway. But it's a really good series, 2 seasons so far. It stars Anthony Pinnock, who he's been in Fortitude, which is another Sky show as well. It stars
That rings a bell.
Indira Varma, who is
Yes,
going to be in soon. She's going to be in Obi-Wan Kenobi. She was also in Game of Thrones as one of the. She was from
the
Dorne.
Vipers.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the Dawn.
Yeah,
That was it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
She was Oberyn Martell's like lady friend.
yeah.
So yeah, really, really good show. I really recommend watching it. 10 episodes each. It's quite good. So yeah, go watch For Life.
Exactly. And if you got time after you've seen For Life, maybe you could squeeze in this next piece. Now, Devat, you're a big fan. I'm a big fan of Money Heist, which is this
Yes.
Spanish, TV drama, and that's kind of been going on for the last, couple of years. I think it's like season 4 or something. Great fun, intricate plot in that one. And this show is called Red Sky or Sky Rojo, and
Mm-hmm.
it's by the creators of Money Heist. So if you like Money Heist, I think you like this. And
Oh shit.
I've spent the last couple of weeks watching this, and you know what? I had a great time watching this. It's only like about eight. I think it's like 10 episodes, or 8 or 10 episodes, and the episodes are only like about 35 minutes long, so you could whiz through this
Mm.
like over a couple of days. But check this out. So three women. The story that this is about three women. They're sex workers, and
Mm-hmm.
they are fleeing their pimp. And what happens is they get into a bit of a kerfuffle. He's kept their passports, and one of them needs to get out of whatever they're doing in this brothel. And the three of them somehow, they basically whack him on the head. They think that they've killed him, and then they flee. And that is where the hijinks, the basically the craziness all begins. So it's set in Tenerife, which
Mm.
is in the,
Okay.
if people don't know, this is in the south of Spain.
Yep.
And lovely scenery, gorgeous people. I mean, this show Devourer is absolutely crazy. I mean, you want
You
sex,
got
this
me
has got
sold.
sex.
You
You want
got
sex,
me
this has got
sold.
sex, man. You want craziness, like jokes, how the sex industry works and how people are
Is
being treated in the
it?
sex industry,
Oh
all that
shit.
sort of stuff. This show, man, it goes through so much detail. In a lot of places, it's really dark as well. So you're thinking,
Mm.
damn, in this show, they're not afraid to go down those dark places. But you know what? I had a lot of fun. It is really, really good. And like I said
You're
before, it's
dark
only like,
yourself, innit?
I know, man, we are. Well, I am.
Ouch.
We're all dark. And
Dark night.
yes. Um, shit, what was I going to say? Yeah, so go watch Sky Rojo. Go watch it. Forget the sub. And you know what? Do this. Watch an episode with the English dub on this. It's so funny. Oh
English dub
man.
is so good with with Money Heist, it makes it even
Yes.
more enjoyable. Honestly, Denver with his laugh.
Seriously, watch it. Watch this with the English dub, and you're gonna have a great time. So that's
Yeah,
Sky Rocco. And then if you've got time after that, oh my gosh, you
yeah.
seriously need to be watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And listen,
Oh
we're nearly
man,
there. We're nearly done.
episode
Devalos,
episode 5 has happened. We've got one left. Do you know what I forgot to mention? I mean, this episode was heavy. This one. Do you know what?
yes,
When I say it was heavy, it was emotionally heavy as well. There wasn't as much action as I thought there would be, but do you know what? I didn't miss out on that. The
yeah,
emotional connection, like Falcon, because we keep forgetting his day job before Captain America came into his life. He was a like a what do you call it? He was like a counselor, like a veterans counselor. He helped
yes,
people get over certain
overcome
losses and
PTSD.
PTSD and stuff like that. And that's you know what he's in the man. He should be Winter Soldier's counselor because the advice that he's able to give him and just try to help him because Winter Soldier. This guy, I said it last week and the week before. He's been through some shit. He's been
Yes,
through years and decades and decades of killing people and all kinds of
yeah,
shit, which still weighs heavy on his mind. It's
yeah.
crazy.
It's mad.
Good
It's mad.
episode.
It's a great episode. Starts off with
Mm.
kind of like a bit of a showdown. There's a big punch up going on in the beginning, like the first few moments of the
Yeah.
show. And like you said, it's got the dramatic bits as well. And here's the thing, right? At the end of Avengers Endgame, do
Mm.
you remember when Steve he takes the Infinity Stones and he goes back and he puts them back in their corresponding places, and then he's
Yeah.
back again. Old man Steve,
Yeah.
Steve Rogers, he's there. And then Bucky and Sam they're looking at each other and they see this old man sitting over there, and
Yeah.
Bucky nods to Sam to
Yeah.
go over. And in this episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it kind of confirmed that he knew what he was going to do.
Mm. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
There's a line in Falcon and the Winter Soldier
Yeah.
where Bucky says to Sam, he says, "Oh, when Steve planned he used the word planned. So Bucky knew about Steve's plan to give the shield to Sam."
Mm.
And that was all kind of like brilliant and stuff. So it's great to see that he's, kind of
Yeah.
getting more kind of like on board the fact that yeah, he can be a Captain
Mm.
America, another version of Captain America, although that's loaded. Being Captain America is loaded. It's deep history. There's a lot of shit that's gone on with being Captain America, and this kind of episode explores that, goes into detail a bit more. We're not going to spoil on this episode right now, but there's a new character, a new player, Deval.
Yes, there's a new character, and yeah, all I'm going to say is she comes in, and she it's a she. I think this season is going to be spinning off onto like Thunderbolt
Ah,
Ross, and the Thunderbolts, who are almost like a Suicide Squad kind of team, like
yeah.
led by Thunderbolt Ross, who we saw in
In
Civil War. He's the one
yeah,
that in the past has been chasing the Hulk. He's the one in the
yes,
comics who becomes the Red Hulk,
yep,
and the person that comes in is also linked to well, she's like a she's almost like Baron Zemo,
yeah,
and she's like a really good manipulator, and she hasn't got any powers or anything like that, but she's linked to all kinds of levels of I don't want to spoil it too much, but she's linked in the biggest way.
yeah.
And the fact that in the episode, like I'll spoil a little bit, but the fact that Zemo goes to the raft, which is where Thunderbolt Ross is hanging out, tells you that yes, things are
Ah,
moving into place for him to assemble his Thunderbolts, serum
right.
and all that kind of stuff. But it's just this season, the next episode is going to be great.
Yeah,
One quick thing I
exactly.
wanted to mention from last week that I forgot to mention, which for me, the Dora Milaje or Dora Milaje, anytime they show up, I had to watch that again, that scene. But there
Oh
was one bit that
man.
when she done the sort of the ninja kind of in karate films they did a paralyzation thing. When they
Yeah,
were
exactly.
when I
How
was
did that
fighting
happen?
Bucky, I was like, what's she doing? She paralyzing him, and I realized she took his arm off, and I was like, that is just. I was like, nah, she.
And
mate,
listen, and Sam
mate.
says to him, Sam says, "Oh, did you know that they could do that?" And
Yeah,
he was like, "No, I didn't know
no,
that that could happen." So she was
mm,
just like, the pressure
yeah.
points, getting
It's
him
like,
in the pressure points, and boop, 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 and his arm just falls off. Boom.
mate. That's why she was Black Panther's bodyguard in Civil War. And remember,
Yes,
there's a scene when she's walking and she sees Black Widow and she says, "Move, or you will be moved." Like,
yes.
think if he's there to, if she is his bodyguard, fucking heck.
What does that tell you exactly? And
Exactly.
he goes, as much as I would love to see that,
Yeah,
stand down. Yeah, that
yeah,
was brilliant, man. I love
exactly.
that. That is wicked.
Yeah,
Um,
go catch Winter Soldier.
Listen, go catch
Fantastic.
it. That's all we're going to say. And
Wow.
on next week's episode, we'll kind of try and do like a whole
Oh no, no,
recap of the
no.
whole thing.
One quick thing. Really, I
Yes,
know I'm talking a bit too much. I'm going to stop honestly. But there's
do
one
it.
quick thing. Did you notice when Bucky was getting really friendly with
The
Falcon's sister?
sister.
Yeah. Did you know why that happened? I realized it at the second time because he was kind of flirting with her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bucky was kind of flirting with his sister. What's his sister's name? Do you remember?
Oh shit.
And he said,
No.
stop flirting with my sister." Sarah is her name. His sister's name's Sarah. And do you remember there's a scene in Civil War where Falcon and Captain America they've got Bucky and he's in that vice and he's in the mechanics place and he's got his
Yeah.
arm in the vice and Falcon's like, is it really him? Is he back? And Winter Soldier's like, yeah, like you used to wear, you used to put comics in, you used to put books in your shoes because whatever, whatever. He's like, oh, your mum's name is Sarah. I was like, shit, that's the link. It's like I don't know why the name Sarah links, but it's like
Oh
he remembered his mum's
shit.
name was Sarah, Captain America's mum, and then which obviously he was fond of her, and then
Yeah.
Falcon's sister's name is Sarah too. I was like, shit, is that like a little nod? Like, are they
That's
gonna get together? Because she likes
deep.
him. She likes
Exactly.
Better
Because she
Bucky.
was all
She
kind
likes
of
Better
like,
Bucky.
shy around him and
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And he says,
It's just
Sam
like
says, let's stop flirting with my sister.
exactly. Yeah. 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 But yeah, no, that's it. Sorry, let me stop talking now.
No, that's
But yeah,
great. That's brilliant. Yeah, go just watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, folks. You're definitely going to love it, and we'll speak more about it, and then we'll start to kind of reveal and talk about loads of other shit as well. All right, okay, moving on to Devaldo. What we got next? What we doing now? Oh, I've lost my
yeah.
page.
I'll do this
Go
real
on.
fast. Fast
Yeah,
9 trailer 2. It's mad.
I
Next,
haven't seen it yet. I have
but
not seen it.
it's you know what? There's the physics. There's a scene where Vin Diesel is in this massive trailer truck type thing, getting chased. Someone shoots a rocket launcher at the trailer truck. It's blowing up. As it's blowing up, he turns and obviously he opens the door and jumps out
Oh
and
my
hits the
gosh.
ground, and he's all right.
Oh
It's,
my
and this is on
gosh.
rocks. This is like near a cliff on rocks. Things should be broken. Like the way they jump around and the way it's mad. Even in Marvel, they don't get away with that. But yeah, it just looks like they go into space and shit, man. This movie
What is
looks
going
mad.
mad? Exactly.
Fast and Furious 9. I know Kay,
He's
aka Good
listening.
Salonius, he's all over it. I know when it comes out, he needs to come on the show. But yeah, this is out in June, so in
All
a
right,
couple of months' time. So
couple of months
it's gonna
time.
be fun anyway. But it just looks mad. That's all I'm gonna say. It's
And
crazy.
listen, this is just kind of like connected to this in some way. I don't think that this is going to happen. Well, who knows? Maybe it's happened. There was talk. One of the directors or producers of the Fast and Furious franchise is saying, "I would love to do a crossover with the Jurassic
Is
World
it? Oh
franchise."
my
I just don't
gosh.
know where this is going, man. I don't know where this is going. But imagine, like, I don't know, Vin Diesel fighting
Oh,
Velociraptor.
you know he'll probably fight them with his bare hands, innit? He'll be like, "Hey, oof, oof." You know?
It's crazy. And listen, we've got the guy from we've got the I've forgotten his name now. I always forget his name, but the is it the Japanese guy or is it the Korean guy?
I think I'm not sure where he's from, but yeah, he was in was he the one in Tokyo Drift or no? I'm getting
The
mixed
one
up.
who
Yeah,
hooked
he's
up
come
with
back.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, he's come back, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's
back,
come
but I
back.
thought he
I don't know
died.
how. I ain't got a
Oh
clue,
shit.
mate. I ain't got a clue.
Okay, hologram. All right, okay. Well, listen, go check it out. Go check out Fast and Furious F9, and
Yeah.
we're gonna watch it, and we'll definitely let you know about that when we get it onto the show. All right, okay. Now let's do anniversary corner, and
Yep.
this one from 15 years ago. Now, this movie isn't for the faint at heart, and it's definitely not for the squeamish. So, I remember I watched this movie in cinema, and
Mm,
man,
mm, mm.
I love backpacking. I love, like, you just, get, put some clothes in your bag, and you just go, hey, look, I'm gonna go do some backpacking and stuff. Go check out the world, go check out a few countries, and when this
Wow.
movie, the whole premise of this movie was started off with great, like, two guys, two Americans, they go and backpack around, Eastern Europe, and, like, they start off in the Netherlands, and then they end up in, like, I can't remember exactly where, like, is it the
It might
Czech
have been
Republic,
Slovakia. I think it might have
Slovakia,
been
or something like
Slovakia.
that?
I think. Yeah.
And what starts off as, like, the greatest thing that happens to
Mm,
them turns out
mm.
to be the biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
And man, this movie is gory, it's bloody,
Yeah.
it's your worst nightmare, right, Deval?
And you know what? The funny thing is, it was not funny, but like, because there's a little bit of a link for with this one of our main films, but I think this shit happens in real life. I'm sorry to say. I think there
Um,
are rich
yeah.
people out there that that take enjoyment in torture, and when people go missing, people that they think no one's going to care about. You know, I think this happens. Even there's a film called Martyrs, where something
Mm,
happens on a much more deeper level. And if you are going to see Martyrs, don't see the American version, see the Canadian French version. It's a
yeah.
sick film. They torture people to the brink of death. This was
Oh,
2008. It came out in Martyrs. They torture people to the brink of death, and they look into the person's eyes, and they ask the person to describe passing through from obviously being alive to being dead, right at the brink. So the
shit.
person is, and then they're able to just describe what they see, and that's what they're paying for. So the way they torture people, they skin them. Everything is crazy, like literally skin them, and they do all kinds of shit. But yeah, that's a next level. But I think there's some rich people out
Oh,
there, like within Hostel, where they kidnap people and people get, they torture them for entertainment,
for
like
laughs, for
to
jokes.
release, to let off steam and all that kind of shit. I remember one scene where they cut the person's Achilles, and then his
Yes.
and then open the
Limping.
door and said, "Okay, you can go." And he tried to get up and he couldn't walk because his Achilles was cut. Sick film, but I
Sick
think there's
film,
some
man.
truth to that shit.
I
Ugh.
guarantee. I bet you. And listen,
Mm,
there's a bit in the movie where I can't remember the guy. I think is Jay. I think his name is Jay Hernandez.
mm,
He's one of the characters, and he escapes. I can't remember exactly how he escapes, but he escapes. And then the whole thing for me was, all right. He sees one of the perpetrators of the torturing or whatever.
mm,
It's like,
mm,
when I saw that, I was like, what would you do in that situation?
mm,
Would you be like, okay, look, I'm going to go to the police or whatever, and or are you going to try and exact some sort of revenge? And oh
mm,
my
mm.
gosh, man, it's thrilling. It's directed by Eli Roth.
Yeah, yeah, Eli Roth, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, obviously he's like,
Hmm.
huge into obviously horror, and he turned up in
Yeah.
Inglorious Bastards and things like that. And they
Hmm.
did a Hostel Part Two, which I can't remember.
Wasn't as
Um,
good, I don't think.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this one is
Because
definitely worth a
that same
watch.
guy, Jay Hernandez, he also played Diablo in Suicide Squad. You know, the guy that was like a bit
Yes, the
devilish and
fire.
fire and all that shit. Yeah, so that was
Yeah,
him.
a bit of a tortured soul, that one. Yeah, so great. So go watch a Hostel,
Paddington.
and go watch Hostel, and that was from 15 years ago. So that's
Yeah.
2006. And like Deval mentioned, it's kind of linked into the movie that we're going to speak about. I'm going to speak about this briefly. So
Hmm.
this is a new Netflix movie. It's called Run, and it stars. Um,
Usain Bolt.
it does not
Oh,
star Usain Bolt.
what?
It does star Sarah Poulson. Is it Colson or Poulson? Deval,
Poulson,
remind
I
me.
think.
Colson.
Yeah.
She turned up in she's turned up in loads of
Poulson.
stuff.
Yeah,
Paulson, yeah,
she was in your film, your favorite film,
Split.
not Split, yeah.
Oh man,
Pushing and
she yeah,
shoving, that is best.
exactly. She was in that, but she was in 12 Years a Slave. She was in
Yeah. American Horror Story, is that the one? No.
American Horror Story,
Yeah, yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Ratchet, I
another
think.
one. Ratchet as well, that's the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of like an interesting movie. Listen, look, going into this movie, I didn't know anything, right? So literally, it just
Yeah.
came up on the Netflix feed. It said "Run," psychological drama, horror, whatever you want to call it. I thought, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me give it a go.
Yeah.
So Sarah Paulson, she's a mother. The movie starts off with her giving birth to a baby, and some sort of kind of tragedy ensues.
Mm, mm.
And then the movie fast forward like 13 years or something. And Sarah Paulson, she's looking after her child, her daughter. She's in a wheelchair. She has kind of like eczema. She has asthma. She has all these
Everything.
different. She's got basically
Literally a
everything.
shopping list of everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the movie's kind of, as the movie progresses, you realize, hang on a second, there's something really, really odd about this mother, because maybe she's keeping a secret, or maybe she's not telling her daughter, what's going on. And somehow, slowly, slowly, the daughter starts to unravel a secret. And the secret is, I mean, I'm going to spoil this right now. So if you want to hear anything, if you don't want to hear about this, then obviously just pause and come back to this. The daughter unravels that she's not Sarah Paulson
Ah,
is not her mum.
ah, shit. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson is not her mum. And
Mm-hmm.
then there is this cat and mouse game of basically trying to get away from the mother and trying to figure out exactly why she's
Mm,
doing what she's done, and how she's doing it. And listen, all I'm going to say is it's not an instant classic, but
mm.
it's 100% watchable,
It is.
and it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. You probably
Yeah.
guess what happens. You'll probably
But
guess what
then that
happens.
I think that's even like I think that's actually half of the sort of craziness that she finds out, because then she finds out something else about her sicknesses, the long
Yes.
shopping list of her sickness that she finds out is another crazy thing, and it starts. It's like I start to I got vibes of Misery, of
Yes.
someone that is mentally ill, or someone that is just just not well, and they're using someone else to enable them feeling complete, or feeling that they are of value, which is really really sad. But this is a next this is literally this is shit. It's a shit situation, but it's a decent film, like Amal said. It's
Yeah.
really worth a watch. Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing about this is, Devaldo? After I watched this, I was kind of flicking through kind of one of
Mm.
these news apps that I got, and there was an article about there's this syndrome called the Munchausen syndrome,
Yep. 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 I was just gonna say
and
that. Yeah. Yeah.
this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Parents, what they
Yeah.
do is they
They.
keep their children, they keep the child ill to
Yes. Yeah.
get like it's a mental illness that
Yeah,
these people
because
have,
they
these
want to
parents they
feel of
have.
value and of worth, and they want to feel like they have to. They're looking after someone, and if they're not looking after them, they feel like they just don't feel valued, and they feel like, that they've got nothing to do. So they keep them, needing them on the next level. And
Exactly.
and the young girl in this film, that's her first role.
Yes, I read about it.
Her
And the
first role. Yeah,
first role.
really
And
good.
there's a line in the movie where the mom says to the daughter, like, you need me. Like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's almost like this thing is like, she's become so dependent on the mother. It's
Mm,
like, shit,
mm,
damn it. Like, does she really need the mom, or is it the other way around? But basically the Munchausen syndrome, or Munchausen paradox, or whatever it is,
mm,
I can't remember.
mm,
It's an actual real thing.
yeah.
Parents, they put their
Mm,
children in a lot of harm, and
yeah.
just basically so that they can care for them, but really
Yeah.
they're doing damage to the kid and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called Run, and yeah, it's worth a watch, that one. And Devaldo, this next one. Okay,
Oh. I
all right.
must confess, I ain't seen this one. I tried
Okay,
to see it. I didn't get a chance to, so you're gonna have to take this
I'm
one away and
I'm gonna
deal with it for me.
okay, I'm gonna tiptoe around this movie. So listen, the writer behind John Wick parts 1, 2, and 3, he he's obviously created this, this John Wick universe, and there's loads of different characters, and I think they are going to be turning the John Wick, the hotel, the Continental, into kind of like maybe like a TV show as well.
Yeah.
So what this guy has done is, the writer of the John Wick, he's come up with a new kind of character, and the character is called Butch Mansell. He's played by, is it? I think it's Bob Oden. Is it Odenkirk? I want to say his name is
Odenkirk.
Oden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and people will remember him, Bob Odenkirk, obviously from Breaking Bad and from Better Call Saul, which is
Yep.
still going on, isn't it? Better Call Saul.
5 seasons have happened. I'm not sure when the sixth season's out, but yeah, it's really good. Really good
Yeah.
show.
So he's a great actor. I mean, this guy is, he's got a lot of screen presence and everything. He's funny and everything. So in this, he plays like an accountant. He's just like, um, in everything that he does is normal, is boring. On a Monday, he wakes up, he takes he makes breakfast for the kids and the wife and everything, and he takes the trash out, he goes to work, he clocks in, and he does the same thing over and over and over again until something happens where he finally breaks bad. That's all I'm going to say. He
Okay.
breaks bad. And remember, the guy who wrote John Wick wrote this movie. So that can kind of tell you exactly what's going on. There's
Mm.
some hidden history behind this guy, Bob Odenkirk's character. There's some hidden history, and he has to deal with a situation which then just escalates and gets out of hand. And all I'm going to say is, if you like John Wick, you're definitely going to like this movie because it's made in the same vein, action, fist fight, shoot 'em ups. It's got comedy, kind of a bit, probably a bit more over the top kind of
Mm.
action
Okay.
than John Wick, but it's brilliant because it's got RZA in it as well, who's a famous rapper, who's a
Oh,
filmmaker
okay.
in his own right.
Yeah.
It's got Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc from Back to the
Back to
Future.
the
He's
Future.
Back to the Future. He's in it as well. So
Okay.
it's definitely worth a watch. If you can track this movie down, I was able to watch it in cinema, and it's I think this is going to be shown on streaming on Now TV. I think maybe in the
Mm.
UK devout
Okay.
at some
I'll
point.
find it somehow. I'll find it.
Exactly. And yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Like I said before, if you like your John Wick movies, you're definitely gonna like this. And the thing is, right, there's a bit in this movie where, do you remember the gold? Do you remember the gold bar that John Wick uses in John Wick?
Vaguely, yeah, yeah,
He has like a stash of cash and he has these gold
yeah,
bars, and then he
yeah.
goes to the Continental. Well, listen, those gold bars are
No.
connected to this movie.
Oh man.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah, there's a connection here. There's a connection.
There's definitely a connection in there somewhere,
Yeah.
and even you got to wait until the end of the movie. There's kind of, they do a Marvel-esque type of a thing, and
Oh.
so that there's going, they're kind of setting
Hmm.
things up for kind of like another, possibly another movie. So go check it out. It's called Nobody. It's out
Okay.
now, and if you're in America, I think you can probably kind of catch this on limited screening somewhere. In the UK, I'm pretty sure it's going to be out on streaming. And Devaldo, where does
Cool.
that leave us for time wise?
We've got one more hidden gem we can do, perhaps.
Let's just
Uh,
quickly, I want to just quickly mention this. All right. So,
okay.
this is another movie which is on Netflix. This is called Rocks. And this movie came out in 2019. It's kind of, I remember I read a review of this kind of like a while ago, and I always kept it in my kind of on my watch list. And it was only, I think, probably like about 3 or 4 months ago, I noticed it on the Netflix kind of the feed thing where Rocks is there, and I quickly added it to my list. So I watched it this weekend, and it's a British movie, independent movie, and it's basically a coming of age story. A group of girls, six like high school girls,
Oh,
in,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and it is absolutely amazing. The way that they've crafted this movie.
Oh,
They've got, I think, yeah, they're basically unknown actors. This is their first movie, and
what?
the great thing about this story is that the makers of the movie, with the help of the actors, use their influence and use their upbringing to kind of showcase their story. So the story is about Rox,
Mm.
Shola, aka Rox. She is a young girl. She's living with her mum and her younger brother. One day she goes to school, and she comes back. She picks her brother up from school, and she's in the kitchen, and she sees a note from her mum, and the mum says, "Hey, listen, I've got some shit to deal with. I need to go clear my head away. Here's some money. Look after your brother. I'm going to be back." And Rox is basically left to fend and deal with, you know, life's complications. She obviously has to look after the younger brother. She has to deal with stuff that's going on in school. She has to deal with friendships, and she has to deal with everything that is kind of, the challenges that life is, life lays out for you. Money runs out. She hasn't got money for electricity. What is she supposed to be doing? And man, it's a hard hitting movie. It's a tragic story, and it hit
Oh,
me in the gut because I've got kids of my own. So I'm
yeah.
like, man, if I'd have watched this movie 10 years ago, I probably would have had the same response. But just because of the fact of where I am in my
Yeah.
life right now, this got me in the feels, man. And
Is it?
it seriously got me in the feels. And yeah, man, it's a tragic story, but it's a movie with a lot of spirit and a lot of heart
Mm,
right the way through it. The girls, they well, I didn't know if this was a documentary, if this was a movie, because it's filmed.
really?
Yeah, they use mobile phone footage throughout the movie as well, and it
Serious?
kind of, yeah, it kind of
What?
gives it this documentary feel. The way they made this movie is brilliant. The acting is superb. Uh, I think her name is Bucky Bookray. She won the
Yeah.
BAFTA
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw it. She was like really surprised, isn't it? Yeah, that's her first role, isn't it?
first
Like,
role. She
like you said, a
wins
lot
a
of them is their first
BAFTA.
role. That's crazy, man.
It's a
That's really
brilliant,
good.
brilliantly crafted story, and really heartfelt. And it just kind of goes to show you, like, we're coming out of this pandemic, right? And I think this is a movie which is uplifting as well at the same time. I think we
Mm,
need to
mm,
see these types of movies.
mm,
And I know that there's a kind of a lot of stories out there which they focus on kind of like
mm,
black trauma, sorry, and they focus on kind of like, people of color and the struggles that they're
mm.
going through, and which is rightly so. Like, we need to have those movies, but like I said before, there's a spirit going, throughout this movie, which is like,
Yeah,
you can't put people down.
yeah, yeah,
When
yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah,
like friends together, and people going through like a tough situation, and you got your mates with you, you can get
mm,
through stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely a hidden gem.
Mm,
You're talking about
mm.
award-winning acting, award-winning
I need to watch this.
filmmaking. You got to watch it, man. I
Yeah.
would definitely kind of speak, until, on top of the rooftops for this one. It's definitely worth a watch. And it's an independent British-made movie, man. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth a
All
watch.
female cast as well, like all these teenage girls. You don't often
Exactly.
see that, do you?
No, no, absolutely not.
Mm,
And like 15, 16 years old. So,
yeah.
and the casting director, big shout out goes to the casting director as well. How she managed
Mm, mm,
to kind of put these guys together, and these young women together, and I think they went through loads of workshop, and they kind of
mm.
they told their stories, and the
Yeah,
writers
yeah.
weaved that into the screenplay as well. So it's great,
There
really
you
good.
go.
It's called
There you
Rocks. It's
go.
on Netflix, and you can catch it in
It's on
America.
Netflix.
It's on
Oh shit.
Netflix.
I don't
You
think it's
can
on
catch.
Netflix here in the UK. I've got to
No,
double
it's in
check
the
that.
UK, man.
Are you sure? Okay, there you go.
100%.
There you go. There you go. Say no more.
Go watch it,
Say
and
no
that's it.
more. Cool. Nice one. That's a good hidden gem. I like that. I like that.
Really good. Go watch it.
Good one.
And Deval, yeah, man, that's it. We're out of time.
Cool. Well, yeah, guys, it's been a really good show. Next week, what have we got next week? We've got Mortal Kombat.
Can't wait, man.
And the last
Can't wait.
episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So a good show next week. So
Good
make sure you
show.
tune in for sure.
Exactly. All right, folks, that's it. I'm out of it. Deval,
Cool.
we'll do this
Yep.
again.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.